Hey folks, I'm Papa Boris, and I recently stumbled upon a demo that really grabbed me, Death Howl. We're gonna do a playthrough of some or all of the demo depending on how long it takes. I'm gonna make a new profile and check out this game with you so that in case it's not on your radar, maybe you'd wanna check out the Steam page and give it a wish list. In case you're not familiar, Death Howl is labeled as a Souls-like deck builder, and I think it's actually a pretty accurate description. It's not a roguelike. It is a deck building game in which there is a story and, you progress through the game in a sort of standard RPG fashion. There is not like this element of starting over at the beginning of a run or anything like that. And the Souls-like aspect will actually make sense when we see it. Of course, there's a bunch of dweebs on the Steam forums like, this isn't a Souls-like, and they're just morons. It's a Souls-like. I think it's a very apt description. Maybe we can get into an argument about that in the comments if you like. But yeah, there's some story stuff. You can't really skip it, not that I know of anyway. I don't think you should when you play the game. I think it makes sense to follow the story. That is an important part of like the vibe and the atmosphere. But for the purposes of videos, I like to skip stories and cutscenes and stuff when possible. That is, as I always like to give a disclaimer, not a commentary on the quality of the writing. I'm not skipping it because it's bad. All in all, I think it's pretty good. I've actually enjoyed following the story in the demo. Basically, the quick recap here that I will summarize for you is that your son died, and now you're going into the spirit world and try to get him back. And that seems to be the whole story. So here we are, we're walking around. There's a vibe of, like the structure of this game has definitely been borrowed from other games. If you've ever played a game like Thronebreaker, the Witcher game, where you like walk around and get into combat and then you change your deck as you go. This is sort of like that. We've got our first fight here. You can choose when to start with fights, and although this is you can actually also leave if you're like, oopsie, I don't want to fight. You can change your mind and you can leave. So there's not a lot of pressure in that sense. At the beginning of a fight, you choose your starting location. We'll just start right here, facing this beast head on. And now let's talk about how the combat works. So you've got a deck of cards. You can see what's in your draw pile. You can also see what's in your discard pile when you start discarding cards. You also have 5 mana to work with. Every card has a mana cost, and you can also spend a mana to move a square. Now, this game is really interestingly and very intentionally designed in the sense that there's a lot of transparency for what the cards do, but there is some opacity about what the enemies do, and I think that actually fits the theme of the game really well, because as you explore this world, you need to learn for yourself how these enemies function. So the Grim Snout here is your basic enemy. He has a movement of 3, does a melee attack. I actually forget how much damage it does. You can't see how much damage it does. If he has an exclamation mark over his head, that means that the enemy is going to do a strong attack, so it will do more damage than usual. Now, that doesn't mean if it doesn't have an exclamation mark that it won't do damage. This guy will do damage to you as long as he can get to within melee range of you. It's just that right here where I'm standing, he's about to hurt me very much. So let's go ahead and play some cards here. We'll do Hurl a Rock. So we're going to chuck it at this guy. You can right click to change if you change your mind about playing a card, but crucially there is no undo. So if you like move and realize, oh shit, I didn't actually want to spend the mana to move, tough noogies, Mr. Boogies. Even if no new information is revealed, you cannot undo. And again, I think that kind of works for this game. It is going for a grim, kind of hardcore vibe, so it makes sense. Let's talk about the cards a bit. Upper left corner is the mana cost. Skull number is how much damage it deals. Range is like where the enemy has to be. So this enemy has to be exactly 2 or 3 squares away from you in a straight line to hit him. In general, you can't attack things diagonally. And then there's a thing here. This one requires you to discard a card in order to play it. So we'll chuck a stone at this boar. We'll discard one of these quick strikes. We'll chuck another rock at this boar. We'll discard one of our blocks of wood, and I could play a block of wood to get 2 armor. Maybe I actually could have discarded it, actually, now that I think about it. Sacrifice means that if you discard it, it has an effect for free. So this starting deck is actually not completely trivial. It's not like Slay the Spire, do 2 damage, block 1. It actually has some, mechanics where there are some cards that make you discard, other cards give you benefit for discarding. But what I'm going to do here, I think, is just get away from the boar. Because if I stand right here, or right here for that matter, the boar can't actually attack me, but he'll get pretty close. and then I'll be able to attack him. Any card that is in your hand at the end of your turn is discarded, unless indicated otherwise. And I'm hoping I can just do 3 damage to this boar next turn to kill it. Okay, so we've got some big cards here. This is just 3 damage, but you get a discount per armor. This is 3 damage and a really high mana cost, but the more cards you play, the less it costs. Anyway, we can just walk up to this guy and whack it to death at this point. It is the introductory fight, so it's not super hard, and off we go. Now there's that little animation here. That's the Death Howl, aka soul. Whenever you kill an enemy, you collect its soul, called a Death Howl, but sorry, I'm just gonna call it a soul. I do think it is a Souls-like, and that's pretty much what it is. And the souls have a variety of effects, which we'll see over the course of the demo. In fact, I guess we're about to have a little introduction to that right now. So when you go to one of these places, so these are like waypoints that you can fast travel to any that you've discovered. You don't have to go to one to fast travel to the other ones. You can basically fast travel to these at any time. And in addition, when you're here, you can choose to trigger it. This will cost all your souls, and it will also heal you to full. So there is some pressure in this game to not take damage during fights, but it's also not the biggest deal in the world if you do take damage, because anytime you can go back to one of these things and click on it, your souls will disappear, you will heal to full, and all enemies who are dead will come back to life. And this is why I'm really annoyed at the people who argue on Steam that this isn't a Souls-like. It's like, yes, obviously it's a turn-based game. Clearly when they say it's a Souls-like, they don't mean Souls-like in the sense of it having action combat. Like, this is clearly a Souls-ish mechanic. It is an essential feature that this has in common with the Souls type of games, which is the bonfire system. So you can go back here and you can heal up to full, but doing so also revives all the encounters. So there's like an interesting element to this game of needing to try to work your way around the map and explore all the stuff. But, you know, if you ever, need to activate one of these bonfires in order to heal to full, then all the encounters come back. So, a nice instrumental goal, we can say, is to try to make your way to all of these sacred groves, the bonfires, so to speak, because that allows you to respawn. And how you choose to go about that is up to you. I really like that this game is kind of dual in a sense, where on the one hand it is very grim and the battles are very punishing and it does have that like hardcore Souls-like vibe, but at the same time there's no game over. If you die in a combat, you just come back to basically where you were before the combat, and then if you get stuck, you can always go to a sacred grove, heal to full, bring all the enemies back, and then try again. So I'm not sure how far I'm gonna make it in this demo, but let's just take a quick look around. These nests are pretty cool. They have good rewards. These are spirits. It's like an encounter. And then if you have like this big box, that's elder spirits. So that's like a hard encounter. So what I'm going to try to do is get to as many of these sacred groves as possible without fighting the elder spirits. And I am going to try to build up my deck to be stronger, and then once my deck is stronger, then I'll fight the Elder Spirits. My first playthrough, I just marched up here and I took out this fight, so like you can actually beat the Elder Spirits without doing that. You don't have to like build up to be stronger or anything, but I figure that's a decent way to introduce us to some of the mechanics. So this is the map screen. If you press C, you get the... Oh, they haven't given me the card screen yet, huh? Okay, cool. Well, we'll come back to the card screen later, I guess. I forgot the game forces you to play with your starting deck for at least another fight, apparently. If you press the T button, you can look at your totems. You have currently 1 slot, and a totem just gives you a little bonus. So this one gives you an extra card on the first turn. This gives you basically 1 damage extra on your first card on the first turn. This gives you an armor on the first turn, and this makes it so that a random enemy has weak. I actually don't know what weak is, because I never used this. You know what? Let's do it. Let's find out what weak is. I can't hover over it, because it disappears when I move my mouse, but once the enemy gets weak, we will be able to see what it is. Okay, so that's the totems menu. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map again and see where we want to go. So there's spirits down here, and there's spirits here with a nest. So maybe I'll go there. Maybe let's take out this fight later. There's no rush to do it right now because I can always fast travel back to this and then just kill it. But let's clear out these 2 fights, get the nest, and then see if maybe we can also clear out these 2 fights and get that nest. If I take too much damage on these fights, then I might end up needing to go back here, and then respawn, and then I'll maybe try going down this way. There are, of course, other ways you can do it. This is by no means the only way to do it. But we'll go down here where we previously fought the boar. And is it still just a single boar? It is still just a single boar. Okay, well, let's go here. We will learn something from this one. There is something that remains to be learned. What is weak? Damage dealt is halved. Oh, that's annoying. I don't want to take damage from it at all. Okay, well, here. I guess we'll take advantage of the fact that is doing half damage. Is it halved? Oh, I don't know if it's half rounded down or half rounded up. Okay, well, anyways, then I suppose I will play sprint, which lets me move up to 3 spaces for just a single mana. Then I'm going to hurl a rock for 2 damage. I'm going to discard this. Then I will spend 2 mana to get myself a block of wood. So I am hoping that that is enough to not take any damage. Block works very similarly to armor in other deck building games in that it blocks incoming damage, but then any unused block disappears. And then we'll chuck another rock. Notice I was out of cards, so I didn't have anything to discard, but that didn't stop me from playing it. Now, he is going to do his strong attack, but I'm hoping that with my 2 block and him doing half damage, this won't do any damage to me. I don't actually know what the numbers are on this boar. Ah, okay. He did 3 damage to me, so even with my block and him doing half damage, that was still a problem. Well, let's just Furious Strike his ass, and down he goes. So we got a Death Howl. Also, notice he dropped a little snout. These are crafting materials that are used to make cards. Aha, now the craft screen opens. So when you open up your card collection, you can see the different cards that are available to be crafted, and you can craft them by spending resources that you pick up on the map. I'm actually not going to craft either of these cards, though, because they both kind of suck. The interesting thing about this, though, is that the more crafting materials that you pick up, the more... Oh, are you not going to let me... No, the game doesn't let you. It actually forces you to craft one of these cards. I see. Good job. Fine. We'll take the cheaper one, I guess, that gives range damage. I actually don't want to do this, but it looks like the game was forcing me to. So, yeah, as you pick up crafting materials, you like complete a collection achievement basically, and when you've collected a certain number of them, you gain the opportunity to craft new cards. And a lot of the times, of course, the new cards that you can craft are stronger than the ones that you can craft at the beginning. So that's why I was not hoping to do any crafting there. I want to pick up the stuff, make some progress towards these achievements, and then craft the cards once stronger stuff is available. This is actually kind of a hard fight, even though it is not an elder fight. Yikes, we got these doom glares. So they hit you kind of hard, and also they give you a mind glare if they don't attack you, which is like a card that wastes space in your deck unless you pay a mana to get rid of it. And these slugs have a lot of HP. They also have this ability, whenever you hurt them, they get 5 blocks, so you can pretty much only hurt them once per turn. I'm actually gonna leave this encounter for a second, and we're gonna grab the Brother's Bracelet. This just gives 1 extra damage, and since it is a small numbers game, I feel like the 1 extra damage matters quite a bit. Okay, we're gonna go right here. We're gonna try to womp on that owl if possible. I really don't like this one. This is a card that does only a single damage and it pushes, and a lot of times the pushing is annoying because it makes it harder then to get the enemy to take more damage. Let me think about this. Aim for the Heart is 2 damage normally, and if you kill the enemy, you get back some mana. That's not super relevant here, because if I were to kill this owl, then I wouldn't be able to hit anybody else anyway, so that's why I'm not a huge fan of this card. Basically, if I step up and I whack it, and then whack it again, it just dies, and that's good enough for me. So we're gonna just go here. We're gonna defensively swing at it for 3+1, which is 4, and then we'll use a quick strike to mop it up. And now I'm pretty sure this guy is gonna be able to hurt me because they have a ranged attack. Ah, he didn't come up to me. That's fine. I don't mind these mind glares because the starting deck does have, you know, a lot of discard effects, so it's okay. Now these slugs do like 1 damage and they poison you, and it works like in other games where you take damage equal to your poison stack, and your poison stack decreases by 1. So we're gonna try to kite this thing. As long as we stay out of its melee range, we'll be fine. And it is kind of slow, so it's not a huge deal. What I'm trying to figure out is if I can quick strike it and also hurl a rock at it? And I think the answer is yes, thanks to the push that I have just actually insulted. So what I can do is I can walk up here with my sprint. Then we're going to quick strike it. Oh, I messed up. I forgot about the blocking. Oops. I should have hurled a rock because that did more damage. Oh, gosh. Also, the quick strike didn't push. Does this thing not... Oh, cannot be moved by other characters. Oopsie. Well, luckily, I have 3 mana left over that I can just run away. That was very dumb. Of course, I could have done a hurl rock and then it would have dealt an extra damage to it. We're getting another Mind Glare, so our deck is going to fill up with these Mind Glares. You can pay a mana just to get rid of it, but I needed all my mana to move out of the way after making that mistake I just made. All right, we're going to get this right this time. We are going to hurl a rock, and we're going to discard, I guess, the sprint to draw a card. Sprint draws you a card when it's discarded. We're going to pay to get rid of the Mind Glare, and then we're just going to walk right here because I can't get through the block of the snail. Okay, you're just gonna keep Mind Glaring me. If I had done an extra damage in the first turn, I could now kill it with a hurl rock. As it is, we can aim for the heart. That doesn't quite kill it, unfortunately. I could consider, of course, trying to do damage to this owl as well as to this thing. I do need to furiously strike it. Okay, let's sprint here. Aim for the heart. No, I don't want to aim for the heart. I just want to kill this thing. And then I want to get the hell out of here. So yeah, we're going to get rid of the Mind Glare because that lowers the cost of Furious Strike. And then I think I can... Well, I could hurl a rock. Yeah, I'm going to hurl a rock because it actually doesn't cost me anything to do so. We'll get rid of that one. We'll Furiously Strike the snail to kill it. And I'm pretty sure the owl's going to hit me now, unfortunately. So maybe I could have optimized a bit better. Yeah, there it is. I get punched for 3. At least I didn't get Mind Glared. Now, if I'm lucky enough, I might be able to kill this thing. Yep, Defensive Swing will now just kill it for 3. So we whack it, and down it goes. We took some damage. So my plan of getting all the way over to that next Sacred Grove might have been thwarted. That is okay. Let's take a look at this nest, which has some goodies in it. All right, we got a cache of crafting materials. And we unlock some new cards because we collected enough crafting stuff. So let's take a quick look at what our options are now. So there's like general cards, which I've like never crafted. And then there's cards specific to each region. There are multiple regions here. So we can get +1 damage on the next attack, a 2 damage melee that ignores armor. This would be good for the snails. And then I don't have enough ingredients for these. Let me see, can I craft both of these? I could actually craft both of them, and I think I'm going to. So this will be good because I can hurt the snails when they put up their armor. I'm going to spend my souls to make this mosquito bite. And then, oh, now I don't have enough souls to actually make this one. That's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of one of my quick strikes because I really don't like these. They only do 1 damage, and the push is often counterproductive. So we're basically replacing a quick strike with a mosquito bite. And I think I'm actually going to also get rid of one of these blocks of wood since I pretty much never use them. We're not playing with a defensive strategy right now. So we're going to just, tweak our deck just a teeny tiny bit there. And then we're going to keep moving. We're going to try to get over to this unvisited Sacred Grove. It is helpful to look around. Every now and then when your mouse cursor changes into like a little bowl-shaped thing, it means you can click on something and get an extra crafting material to pop out. All right, now we've got the crows. So these guys have a ranged attack, and they do, I forget how much, 3 damage or something, but they have a really long range attack. It's quite difficult to get out of this without killing them, or without getting hit. Now, I may be able to do that. Let me see, this is 3 damage, and then this would be another 2, and I would kill it and get some mana back. So we'll try this. I'm gonna hurl a rock. I'm going to get rid of this defensive swing. Thanks to my brother's totem, I did an extra damage, so the aim for the heart actually kills this one now. I get some mana back. I can cast this block of wood, which I don't think is going to block all the damage. But maybe I can actually... Yeah, I think actually I can go here, and I think I should be able to actually dodge it, so I didn't need the block of wood. But now this guy can't get into a line with me. Now the question is, will I be able to get into a line with it and actually be able to do enough damage to kill it? And the answer is Maybe? So this is the wrong mana card. This is the push. I don't want the push. I want to try to be able to do 2 damage with my Mosquito Bite and the Furious Strike. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll give it a shot. So I'm going to sprint over here. I'm going to hurl a rock and discard the sprint. The idea being that I'm hoping I draw my Mosquito Bite. I actually did. So if I do my math correctly, I should be able to walk up here. Oh, I didn't actually need the Mosquito Bite. This is actually enough for 3 damage to kill it. Okay, perfect. Just barely get there. That 1 extra damage from the Brother Totem was really crucial. Otherwise, I wouldn't have killed the first one on the first turn, which sparked everything. Okay, so we're walking around. We're picking stuff up. It's really important to pick stuff up, not just because, you know, it's a good thing to be able to craft new cards, but because, again, the more stuff that you pick up, the more that you progress towards the unlock achievements and get access to newer and better cards. This thing is glinting, Zelda Breath of the Wild style, so you can click on it and notice we got an extra crafting thing because we went over into this nook and explored. All right, so now I have 16 HP or something, and I have a decent chance, I think, of being able to kill this and beat this encounter, and then make our way over to this next, let's call it waypoint. All right, what I'm gonna do now is hit the cards button. I got some more howls from the last fight, so we're gonna grab Enchant Weapon. It's a pretty decent card. It's 0 mana, +1 on your next attack. And I'm gonna want this in my deck long term because there are other cards later that have multi-attack, and obviously that synergizes. Now, I'm gonna get rid of my other block of wood because I pretty much just never need that. And then we're gonna see. I don't wanna do anything else at the moment. I'm gonna wait for some more cards to unlock before making new stuff. We'll kind of keep an eye out for multi-attacks to combo with the enchant. All right, this guy has 7 HP. I don't know if I can punch through all of that in one turn. We'll just kind of see. So let's see here. I can do 3 damage. This becomes 2, which is 5. And then 6, 7. I can actually kill it. I don't know if I can get away from this guy, but we'll try. So I need to just kind of step forward here. I messed up already. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Because I needed to throw the rock before I stepped up. Okay, I guess we can do the quick strike and then hurl rock. So it needs to be like I enchant weapon. It doesn't matter what the order is. I guess it does. I need a mosquito bite first. Then quick strike next. And then we hurl a rock to kill it. Oh, what is this? Oh, yeah, this is not going to be anything when I discard it. It has a discard when I play it. I'm hoping this owl doesn't hurt me. Okay, perfect. The owl is not going to hurt me. I got the Mind Glare, so I lose 1 draw, basically. But we're going to see if I can finish off this owl. It's not the greatest. So, I could aim for the heart for 2 and defensive swing for 3, but the problem is that I would need to these are different ranges. Right, if I sprint, for example, up to here, I can't aim for the heart because that requires me to be in range. And then I don't have enough mana, I don't think, to play the Furious Strike and the defensive swing. Well, we'll see. If I have to get hit, I gotta get hit. So this is 3, and then this will cost 2, and then I'm gonna be 1 short. Crud muffins. All right. Yeah, there's just no way to do it. I needed like my mosquito bite here instead of the aim for the heart. I mean, I could try running, but I'm pretty sure these... Okay, there's a chance he's not going to attack me. I could just try running away and then see if he chooses not to attack me. Oh, he actually chose not to attack me. I don't remember if they... Maybe they are melee and I misremembered. I thought they were ranged. I could be wrong. Okay, so let's check it again. Now, this is a much better situation because what I can do now is go here. Quick strike, which I guess the push is actually kind of helpful. Fragile. Damage taken is doubled. Oh, is that because of this? Is that because of this terrain? Well, that definitely makes it a lot easier if the damage taken is doubled. Pip. And down you go. Okay, I took no damage in that one. That's good. Notice the droppings are not random. The boar drops the snout and the owl dropped those little leaves. We unlock some new cards. Let's take a quick look here. Okay. I actually kind of like a lot of these. So this one just gives you +1 damage for the entire turn, which is good synergy, again, with multi-attacks or with having more mana. I like this one, though. This is 4 damage in range. That's pretty good. You do have to discard 2 random cards to play it, but, I mean, 4 damage is really solid, and every once in a while you actually hit more than one thing with it. So what I'm going to do here is get rid of the defensive swing, because I never want to use block, and 3 mana for 3 damage isn't really even that great. The Furious Strike's also not great, but I have to have a minimum of 12 cards in the deck, so I can't get rid of it yet. Okay, let me take a quick look at the map here. So I could go back and do this encounter, but let's go to the waypoint. That was our goal, was to go to the waypoint. And then let's kind of just take a lay of the land afterwards. Okay, so here's our other waypoint. When I go here, I don't have to revive the enemies. I could, but I don't need to. Clicking on it just raises it up, so now it's available for fast travel purposes. We also get some more story. This moose is trying to help you out. You kind of get introduced to the metagame here. There are all these different regions, and there are 4 spirits that you need to go to, but they've been acting strange lately. And this is how, if you didn't press all the keys on your keyboard at random at the beginning of the game like I did, you find out about the totems. So the spirits have been acting strange lately, so in the full game, you're going to be visiting all these locations. In the demo, obviously, you're just confined to this one location. All right, now let's take another look at the map. So I'm just going to explore down here. I bet there's some sort of crafting resource down here. Yeah, we got a little mushroom. Just trying to unlock as many cards as possible. And if you try to go down here, it'll say not available in the demo, which is perfectly reasonable. Okay, so I think I want to try to make my way to the next waypoint. And there are 2 regular encounters on the way, so maybe I could just do that now. We can always come back and get this one very easily. Let's just go over here. Try to explore all the edges. I could, of course, revive, but Death Howls, as you might have noticed, are a needed resource for crafting cards. Crafting cards requires an item, or some crafting materials, and some number of Death Howls. All right, we got ourselves a little snail. So I'm gonna just start directly in front of it, see what we can do. Okay, we actually have a really good opening hand here. This thing has 6. With my brother's totem, I do +1 damage, so the rabbit attack's gonna be 5. When numbers are temporarily updated, they're a lot harder to read. Like, this is easy to read, +1. That's like, what the hell's that number? That's a 5. But now notice I can enchant weapon. Now this will do 6, and that will one-shot the snail. I'm going to discard a couple of cards at random. We do discard a sprint, so we get a random other card. I could try to... I'm going to step forward, actually. The frog... Oh, no. The frog, I think, has a range of 2 on its attack. So if I go here, it will hit me. It flicks out its tongue, and it pulls you in. But I think if I go here, the frog can't hit me. I don't believe it has a range of 3. Yeah, it must have a range of 2. Okay, so we're going to try to see if I can kill the frog in 1 turn. I believe the answer is yes, because I can sprint up to it. The reason that's important, not just that it saves me a mana, but every card I play reduces the cost of Furious Strike. So we can, like, do a Mosquito Bite, for example. For 2, that reduces the cost of Furious Strike. Oh, but I can't, that doesn't kill it. But I could kill it and then Quick Strike. Okay, there's a number of options. I could Quick Strike and shoot it, but that will be 1 short. But if I Furious Strike it without the full discount now, that'll do 3, and then Quick Strike will kill it off. Notice that if this Quick Strike were a Mosquito Strike, that would have been way better, so replacing those at some point will be nice. Okay, yeah, and we have a malevolent force here who talks to us sometimes as well. So this is the drop from the snail, and I think that's from the frog, or maybe it's the other way around. Let me just check real quick, see if there's anything on the edges for me to pick up. There's some cards that I'm waiting for because I have played this previously. Oop, we got a little cache of resources. Oh, no, this is not a cache of resources. This is a secret bonus passageway to a really hard fight. I definitely want to level up my deck and also reset the board before I go in there. So we'll try to do that at some point, though not necessarily in this particular video. Okay, we got a new enemy here. These guys have range damage and they can teleport with their movement. So they're quite tough. I would love to do 6 damage to it if I can. And I can just hurl 3 rocks at it. This is actually kind of nice that worked out this way. So we'll chuck 1. I don't even need the sprint. We'll just get rid of the sprint to draw an extra card, see if I get something good. Got a Quick Strike. That is not good. But we'll I'm not gonna overthink it. We'll just hurl a rock at it, and yeah, just hurl another rock. So that thing's dead. This plant, you can kill it, and then it will explode and do 2 damage, I think, to nearby enemies. This frog, again, has a range of 2, so if I were to step here, which I can't anyway, but if I were, then it would hurt me. But right there, I'm safe. Okay, the frog stood there, which is not smart, because that allows me to kill this plant. And I believe, actually, a rabbit attack is just going to kill this frog. It'll be 4 damage for the attack plus 2 damage from the exploding plant. So we'll just chuck it on there, like that. Very cool card. Plant explodes. And the frog dies. All right, so we got a thing for the frog, and then there's some pile of sticks for the tree thing. So if you are trying to get a lot of a particular crafting resource, you actually have control over that, because you can just go back to one of the sacred groves, make everything respawn, and then go back and do an encounter that has the particular enemy that you were trying to get crafting materials from, since every specific enemy drops a specific crafting material. All right, we got some new cards unlocked. Let's check them out. Discard a random card, get some stuff. We got Gift of Nature, which is like a mana thing. This is draw 2 cards, and if you discard it, you get an extra mana, which is nifty. But I think I'm fine with it, what I have right now. I really do prefer the mosquito bites over the quick strikes, so we're gonna make one of these. I might regret that later, because there are some strong cards coming, and I might wish I had the resources for those, but it's fine. You can always get more resources. We're gonna get rid of a quick strike. I just don't like them very much. And we'll keep the rest of it. I could consider, of course, doing some of the stuff like getting more mana, but I'm fine with things as they are. The encounters haven't been going too terribly. So now we have access to another waypoint. All right, we're trying to collect a bunch of stuff here to unlock some cards. You eventually start unlocking rare cards, which is very cool. Wait, I think I missed a thing there. Hold up. Thank you, Death, for malevolently speaking to me in a malevolent fashion, because that allows me to see that I missed something on the map. Yeah, there we go. There's the little bowl thing. Ooh, 2 resources on that one. Nice. That's some good progress. Okay, taking a look at the map. I'm gonna go up here and check out this nook. Wait, what the heck is this? Oh, that's it? Something is moving inside. I can feel it, but nothing else. All right. Well, we'll walk up to the boundary here, grab some more resources. Can't get that. She can't cross over. It's like in the old shooting games when the characters would like be thwarted by a barrier that was ankle height. She's not a lithe woman. She cannot jump over small obstacles. All right, we have an elder fight down here, but let's get this waypoint. By the way, when you do one of these and you lose all your howls, it does give you a benefit. There's like a little bit of a build-up to it. So that's another thing that you can grind for if you're inclined. See this 1 out of 6? If I were to do this right now, I would submit 3 death howls to this, and it unlocks like a passive ability. But I found in my other playthrough I didn't really use the passive very much, so I'm not going to worry about it. Here, I think I'm just going to try to clean up as many of these non-Elder Spirit fights as I can. Things have been going very well. In fact, I may actually be able to do these 2 and then just pick up all of the waypoints in one ring around the rosy. I've got some tracks here. Okay, that's the elder fight. I don't want to do that right now. We'll kind of go around in another ring perhaps and do all the elder fights later. Is there some more resources here? Nice, nice. Okay, ooh, this is a good place. Lots of great stuff here. Okay, now we got a frog and a snail. And it's tough, because depending on what my starting cards are, I might prefer to actually go after the snail if I get my mosquito bite, but I will start here because right now I'm out of reach of the snail. So I think it's safer to go here. Hope I can just kill this frog, and it looks like I will be able to do so. We've got a mosquito bite for 2 + 1 is 3, and then that's another 3, and the frog is dead. So I'm just gonna do this. I also could, of course, just do a rabbit attack, but this is fine. We're just gonna kill it. I'm not gonna worry about it. The snail is out of reach. I do regret that I don't have enchant weapon available or the mosquito bite for the snail, but you can kind of kite these snails a lot. So I don't really mind too much, because if I can't kill the snail, that's okay. I'll just run away from it and then I'll be able to kill it next time. I'm gonna chuck a rock at it because I'm gonna draw a card when I discard sprint. Unfortunately, the snail has 5 block and I don't have mosquito bite here, so we are just gonna keep it real simple here. I'm gonna hurl a rock. Actually, no, I don't want to hurl a rock. I have the mosquito bite. What a minute. How did I miss this? I could actually do 2 more damage to it, and then could I get away? I could still get away. Okay, perfect. We'll just do this. Let's just mosquito bite to pierce the armor. Enchant weapon doesn't get me through the block, so now we're just gonna sprint, and right here, the snail cannot reach me, because the snail only moves 2 spaces and attacks only in melee range. And now, of course, with 2 damage, it's gonna be very, very simple to kill this thing. Mosquito bite is a perfectly fine way to poke this thing to death. Okay, we get some snail goop and some frog sludge. Any thingy-madingies? Nope. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I'm gonna explore this later when I'm ready for this Elder Spirit fight. Over here, we're gonna deal with a frog and a teleporting range damage log. I could go here and try to see if maybe I can get at this thing. But what I'm hoping I can do is if I go here, walk up to, I maybe can kill the frog and then run away. And then this thing, even though it can shoot at range and teleport, it can't reach me because these are not actually squares. So if it can only go down to here and I'm right here, I'll be safe. So that's my hope. Well, it all kind of depends on what the starting hand is. Okay, well, this isn't the greatest, but maybe I can kill this thing. So if I do enchant weapon and it has +1 on next attack, this would be 5. So yeah, I mean, I do kill it with one of these other cards. The question is, am I gonna have enough mana to get away from the log? And the answer is, I don't know, but we'll find out. So what we do is, it doesn't matter what gets enchanted. We'll just pop on the enchant. We'll whack this thing. And now, unfortunately, Quick Strike doesn't kill it. If you push things into the environment, it does not damage them. But luckily, that doesn't matter, because I do get to kill the frog with the Furious Strike, having its discount. And then I can just walk away, and the teleporting log is not able to shoot at me. So it goes right here. Wait, what? Oh, it gave itself block. Oof, that sucks. Okay, so now it essentially has 8 damage. 4, 6, 8? It looks like I get there. Do I have enough mana? I move 1. Yeah, the problem is it's this range stuff where this cannot work in melee range. So if I hit it for 4, it's gonna do a net of 2 damage, and then I have this, and then unfortunately after that, well, let's see, it's 2, 4, 5. This way, 2, 3. I need a sprint. That's 4. And yep, because I'm not in position to hit it now with the Hurl Rock, I have to spend a mana to move, then Hurl Rock. I don't think there's a way I can do it. Unless I get something from a card draw. Well, what's in my deck? It's another Hurl Rock. Okay, let's think about this. So I go over here, 1, Hurl Rock, discard sprint, draw another Hurl Rock. This thing's at 6, its armor's been sheared off. I then Hurl Rock again. So it's 1 to move, 1 to Hurl Rock, 3, maybe this works? Maybe if I ignore the mosquito bite, it actually works. We're gonna try it. So we do this. We discard the sprint. We draw the other Hurl Rock. We shoot this with a Hurl Rock. Oh, we solved it. You don't have to have the discard. Discard is an effect, it's not a cost. So even though I didn't have enough cards to discard to that very powerful 2 mana for 4 damage attack, it still worked. All right, so we get a pile of sticks from the log, and we get the frog goop. Squirrels, I don't think you can pick up the squirrels. Checking to see if there's anything over here that I can grab. Oh, got some leaves, nice, and a stick. Ooh, and a cache, nice. Wait, this is, I didn't find this last time I played, so I actually don't know what that is. Well, if it's anything like the other one, that's gonna be a tough fight. So there's actually 2 places now, this thing and that thing that are like extra encounters. It is a little bit annoying that I went around so far, so when I do want to do this later, I'm going to have to, like, walk through an encounter on the way there, but I should probably be able to defeat that encounter without getting hit, and hey, we'll even get some extra crafting materials out of the bargain. All right, so at this point, we actually managed to get all around the map, get all the waypoints, and we still have enough HP that we could go fight these spirits. I think I'm gonna do that before I respawn everything, so that'll make a nice logical conclusion to this video, is maybe if we beat all the regular encounters, and then we'll pause, and then we'll go try to do all the advanced encounters. Did I click on that? I did. Okay, wait, unvisited. Hold up. I need to actually click on it. Even though I'm not planning to invoke it, I do need to click on this thing to get the waypoint activated. Okay, now we're gonna do another basic encounter. We have log and we have pig. Okay, we'll just start. Oh no, this is owl. This is the doom-glary thingamading. Okay, so let's see here. If we hurl a rock for 3 and aim for the heart for 2, we get our mana back, though it doesn't matter because we still can't do anything with the boar. Case study 15 Burbledillion. That aim for the heart is a crappy card. So anyway, we're gonna kill it. And we want to just get as close as possible to the boar, so that is fine. Didn't need the extra 2 mana, it turns out. And the boar, oh, I missed that thing. That thing was a freaking ninja crow over here. I did not see that thing there, oopsies. Okay, so now the goal is to make sure I'm not in line of sight of the crow, so the crow can't shoot at me. This requires me to stand here. I could go here, whack the boar, and then sprint away. The question is, can I actually kill the boar? And the answer is, I don't, not without discarding the sprints. So I will be drawing a random card, it'll be a hurl rock. So yes, it does appear that the crow is gonna get to whack me, unfortunately. Unless there's some weird line where I can actually kill the crow and then get out of the way of the boar. It's not impossible, perhaps. But no, I would still need to play the rabbit attack and I would end up discarding my sprint. Okay, so we're just gonna go back to the original plan here. We're gonna walk up to the boar. We're gonna enchant weapon. Now this does 3, and this will do 4, and it'll kill the boar. So we have to do this first so we don't discard it by accident. And now, well, there's actually a chance, I suppose, that I keep one of these sprints. Actually, a 2/3 chance that after I do this, one of the sprints will be in my hand. And that is exactly what happened. Actually, the first sprint was discarded, drew a card, then the second card was discarded. Interesting, I didn't know it worked that way. And then with my last mana, I step back to here so the crow is not able to get line of sight against me. And hopefully he gets closer, and then I can ambush it and kill it on my next turn. This is actually not ideal, because again, we have this combination of melee and not melee. But luckily we have Mosquito Bite instead of Quick Strike, so we can sprint up to it. We can do a Mosquito Bite that lowers the mana cost on the Furious Strike, and now we can kill it. Great, so we got our Pig Snout and Crow Wings. And, oh no, that's the wing. That was from the owl. Okay, we got some new cards here. Now I really like this one and this one because it's really cool to be able to hit twice, so this is still at least 2 damage for 1 mana, but if I can get enchant weapon on it, then that's really nice, because now it'll actually do 4 damage for 1 mana. It's a 2-card combo, but 4 damage for 1 mana is pretty sick. And I could make more of these. Oh no, is this a rare one? I can only make 1? No, I think I can make more of these, but I want to make one of these. This is pretty cool. You pay 2 mana to draw 3 cards, and the cards you draw cost 1 less. Now, I do have 1 card here that's 0 already, so that's a little bit of a non-bow, but that's fine. Now, this is a rare card. You can only have 1 of it in the deck. Okay, what I'm going to do now is a little bit greedy. I'm going to get rid of Furious Strike. I don't think I really want this, and I also don't want the Quick Strike, because I really just hate this thing. Actually, I also hate the aim for the heart a lot as well. I'm going to get rid of this. This is just so annoying, the extra mana, because the fights are small. A lot of times you just can't use the extra mana. All right, there's this weird nook up here. I'm gonna go, I think there's a quest that I will start. I could have been more efficient, metagamed it a little bit, and started this quest sooner, because now I have to do some backtracking. The bird that we need to get in order to make this tree happy is right there. I'm just gonna do this. You can fast travel, that doesn't bring anything back. It's just a way to get around the map really nicely. So there's the bird, but I can't get it because what's gonna happen is it flies over here. So there's a little quest that happens. You have to beat this Elder Spirits fight, then pick up the bird, and then you have to walk back to the tree. And you can't fast travel there, and everything respawns. So it's a fun little quest. Okay, what I'm gonna do next, there's 4 non-advanced fights left. So we're gonna fast travel back here, and we're gonna take on this regular fight. Now this should be, I hope, pretty easy at this point because we have some advanced cards and everything. Looks like this is a logical place. If I can kill the crow, I should also have enough mana to get to the point where the pig can't reach me. We did get all melee and no movement, so I have to be a little careful. But okay, if I go here, yeah, we should be fine. Because the pig has a movement of 3. Yeah, we're totally fine. I just walk up to it, I enchant weapon, and I do a double strike. This is 2 times 3 because of my brother's totem. So that actually is kind of cool. It makes the first attack that I do in the first turn do an extra damage, but that actually counts twice. So we're just gonna absolutely obliterate this crow, hitting it for 3 twice for a total of 1 mana. Now the pig is gonna get to me. This is fine. We just run off. And now there's a chance I'm not gonna be able to do 7 damage. We do have rabbit attack, so that's 4 plus 2 is 6. I'd have to also hurl a rock. I think I'm okay with that. So we're gonna do this for 2. We're gonna discard this thing, draw a card. We can actually hurl another rock. Yeah, we never even have to step forward for the mosquito bite. We have enough mana now. We can even deeply meditate, but this is fine. This just kills it. Okay, getting more crafting stuff, trying to unlock all the cards. 24th, there's a ways to go, but we also haven't done any of the advanced fights yet. So there is still a lot of, there are still a lot of ingredients to pick up because there's all the advanced fights and the rewards for those fights and the nests that are behind them, plus those 2 passageways. So we'll get there soon enough. Okay, this is now a place I've already traveled, so we're gonna fast travel back here. I do appreciate how quick they made it. Like there's no fussing, no interface, no window that pops up. You just click on it and you're there. We've got another basic fight here. It's a crow and a pig. I think we want to fight the crow first because the crow has less HP and the crow has a ranged attack. Now, the rabbit attack will just kill the crow thanks to my brother's totem, but I don't really see much of a reason not to deeply meditate because I can always do the rabbit attack afterwards. So we're getting a mosquito bite, and a rock. And they have a discount. So really, I just have my choice of how to do this. There's probably some way I could even hit the pig if I wanted to, but we'll just keep it super simple. Let's just walk on up here. We can double strike this thing. Mosquito bite to finish it off. I'd hurl a rock. Just to, like if I had a sprint to get rid of, but as it is, we simply take a step back. We also had a sprint if we needed to run more. The pig will probably just run up here, and I'm hoping I can just kill it. This is a very enclosed space, so if I'm not able to kill it, then it will damage me, and I want to make sure I'm not standing here because this is a spot where it's going to do more damage to me. Okay, I'm discarding the sprint because I'm right next to it. I don't actually need to run. The question is, can I actually kill this thing? We've got 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. So unfortunately, I actually can't kill this thing because I didn't quite draw enough damage. And this does draw a card. So maybe that's what I need to do. I will walk up here and we're gonna mosquito bite and draw a card. Aha, we got rabbit attack. Will that kill it? That will kill it because it does 4 damage. So rabbit attack, very helpful. The discard is not a huge deal. And the fact that you can do 4 damage for 2 mana at range and in melee. Like, it's not even the fact that you can hit multiple enemies with it. When I first played with it on my off-camera run on the demo, I was like, ooh, I can hit multiple enemies. The fights have so few enemies that almost never happens, but what's really, really powerful about it that I didn't even really realize until I played with it is the fact that you can do it in melee or at range. So it combos with your hurl rocks and it combos with your melee strikes, making it a very flexible card to use. There seems to be a passage here. I never noticed this. I never noticed that passage either before. It's just in one of those games because it's so dark you can easily miss stuff, and that's to some replayability because there's, you know, more things to discover. And when you first play it, you want to try to discover as much as you can as well. Always walk around the edge, hover your mouse around stuff. It's just a very satisfying game to walk around in. Now there's nothing over here, just a regular ass fight. Okay, we'll go ahead and see who this is. Just a pig? Nah, pig and a crow. The crow's pretty far away. It's going to be difficult to avoid this crow. I think my approach is just going to be to start here, walk up, hopefully smash the pig to death, and then just step away from the crow, and the crow won't be able to reach me, and it can't get in line with me because those aren't actually steps. Now the question is, can I actually kill this pig? So we can deeply meditate. I have my 0 mana card here. I think I am just gonna deeply meditate to start things off. I'm pretty confident I'm gonna be able to make good use of whatever I draw and that it's gonna be worth it. Now I was hoping to get my double attack. I did not. But can I kill this thing without it? I suspect I probably can. So we can whack it for 3, 4, and then just, 5, 6 bajillion. I mean, this thing just about kills it by itself. I'm gonna sprint up here. And we'll enchant weapon. Gonna mosquito bite it and draw a card. Man, the fact that it does 2 damage and a card draw for 1 damage, for 1 mana, that's really cool. This is only 2 damage because I used it in my enchant weapon, sadly. I could have mosquito bitten first, but this is fine because this is only 1 mana, and that leaves me with more than enough mana to duck out of the way of the crow, and I may have even been able to do some damage to the crow as well. I just didn't feel like optimizing there. Satisficing seemed like it would be enough. Okay, do I have enough mana? These are not my best cards, but let's try it. So we'll go over here, we'll chuck a rock, and I'm gonna discard Sprint to draw a card. And we got a Mosquito Bite, which is good. I need to step up and then Mosquito Bite twice, or Hurl a Rock and then Mosquito Bite once. Yeah, it's all good. We have just enough mana to Mosquito Bite this thing for 2 damage. We even had an extra damage from the enchant weapon if we needed it. Very, very good, very good. Okay. So now we pick up our rewards. Is there anything over here? Oh, this is just a path. Okay, that means this is the last encounter left that is not an advanced encounter. I'm gonna walk this way because I don't think I've walked this way before, just in case there's something lying around that I can click on. What is this? Hello. Oh, look at those things. Glad I got those things. Ooh, a mushroom? I just never walked here. Okay. Okay, so now we are going to do the last non-advanced fight. Gonna ignore that. That's elders. And then we're gonna go here. And we got 2 crows. A bit of a tough fight to not take damage on. But we'll start here. It's possible I get enough range damage, depending on what I get, to kill the crow. They only have 5 HP. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a tough start because if I hurl a rock for 3, I could hurl a rock and I could actually sprint up, mosquito bite, and sprint away, and this thing can't get line of sight. Let's do that. So I am gonna actually not discard my sprints. I'm gonna use both sprints. I will go here, I will mosquito bite to kill it, and then I'm gonna sprint away, so it can't get line of sight. I actually don't know what the range is. Maybe that's a little bit aggressive. Maybe they don't have a range of 3, and I could have actually landed myself closer to them. Okay, what I'm gonna do here is the deep meditation. We got a rabbit attack, which is good. That almost kills the crow. The problem is I don't have a sprint, unfortunately. So while I can do a rabbit attack, I don't have enough mana to get over here, rabbit attack, and hurl a rock. That's a problem. Okay. Well, this is a chance to just do nothing. Yep. Can I rabbit attack empty space? Interesting, I can. Okay. Well, that doesn't do anything. But this crow should still not be able to hit me, and then it'll get closer. Oh! There's a lane here? Oopsies! Well, I didn't realize that. Okay. So that was a blunder, unfortunately. I took 3 damage. We learned something, though. We learned that they do 3 damage at a range of at least 3. Okay, now we are fine, because we can hurl a rock, or gonna... Oh, I could have just enchanted weapon and finished it off, but we'll finish it off with a mosquito bite. Okay, we should get 2 wingies from these crows. And just to make sure, yes, we have now done all the encounters that are not the elders. So what's left is these 4 elder spirits battles, which will give us 4 nests. There's also the bird quest, And there's also these 2 passageways. That may even be more stuff than we can do in the next video, but that's what I'm gonna do in the next video playthrough of this demo. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.